this is Sharon from craftyandcreativeideas.blogspot.com. I'm here today to bring you another one of my Wow That's Cool videos. And this card from this video is called a Folded Pocket Gift Card. The reason that you can hold a gift card, it's kind of hidden here. This card will not open, but it does have a pocket here that you can shove in a gift card or some type of money, $20 bill or whatever you want. First you're going to take your Lost Lagoon cardstock, and I cut this at 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, then I'm using my diagonal scoreboard. Remember that this card is folding on the bottom, so you're going to be, when you use the top, it's going to be this top flap. And we're going to put this in at 2 3/4. So, okay, so we're going to go from 2 3/4. And this works easiest if you use the larger part of the wide stylus part. Flip this over, so now you can do 2 3/4 again. This Whisper White rectangle, which is cut 1.5 by 5 1/4, and I had stamped it with the Memento black ink, and I had used the greeting from Perfectly Pinned. And the striped one was cut 2 3/4 and 5 1/4. Okay, and they just make sure that when you cut this that you don't have your stripes running the wrong way. The stripes need to go vertical up and down. Okay, and then the next part you want to cut is the floral, and I cut this at 2.5 by 2.5, and then I turned it, and then from point to point on my trimmer I cut these in half. Alright, so the bottom stripe piece is going to be attached here. There we go. Now on the two top flaps we are going to attach these other flowered pieces that I had cut out. So I'm going to do that. And then the happy birthday is going to get attached onto here. Okay. When we attach the tear tape, it is going to go on the inside flap, the two pieces here, and then that's going to go just stick, so this goes downward on the card. Now I took some Hello Honey ink, and I tried to do some of these things ahead of time, and I used the Crazy About You stamp, and I used the larger flower, and I stamped on a piece of scrap, and then I'm going to use my flower punch to punch out the flower, and then using scrap Old Olive cardstock, I just punched out 2 leaves. I have a large, extra large here pearl gem. I placed a couple of dimensionals on the crease of this card, right? Also on the back of this, at least it will, it's going to hold these two pieces together. Okay, I'm just going to take a couple of glue dots and stick them on the green leaf. With the envelope punch board on an 8 by 8, I put the paper in at 3.5, and I'm going to move this over a little bit here. I punched at 3.5 and I scored, and then I turned it and just matched the little notch to the score mark that I had on the paper. Score again and punch. And then I'm going to take on the wider side. See how this is a lot more narrow, but this is a wider. I'm going to round this edge off with the top rounder. Okay, that takes care of that. Now for my liner, I used, it was from Sweet Dreams DSP paper, an older paper, but the colors match really nice for it. I cut this piece 4 by 4, and I'm going to stick it in at 3 7/8 on the board. I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to take this part and fold it over and do another 3 7/8. And then if you look at these two where I have the rounded edge, I'm going to round the same point on the rounder. You want to actually be putting that tape runner on the rounded side, but only halfway down. So you do not want to put any tape on this. I hope that this has explained how to make this card, because there sure have been a lot of requests for this one. So if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me or notify me, and I can get back to you on that. But this should be helpful as to what to really do with it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you'll check out my blog for my other cards. If you have time, I appreciate comments, because I know that you appreciate the videos then. And until next time, God bless.